Okay, UFC 275 Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohaska. A relatively lackluster card, I won't lie, but it is good to see some tight fights back in the picture. I think it feels like it's been forever since we've had just a half decent UFC card. I mean, the Justin Gaethje Charles Oliveira fight was Sunday the 8th of May, and we are currently, as I'm filming this, the fight's going to be on the 11th of June, so I think, or say 11th, technically it will be the 12th on the UK time, but yeah, so it's been a while since we've had any kind of semi-decent UFC cards, to be honest. There's not really been, I think the only card I was really interested in that came up was a Blachowicz and Rakic fight, which was a decent one, but again, nothing too much to scream about in terms of pay-per-view cards. After this one, in terms of pay-per-views, we do have the Adesanya Kane, which is an amazing card, because then you've got Holloway, Volkanovski, Strickland, Alex Pereira, Sean O'Malley, and Pedro Munoz. So some as better ones on the horizon, but yeah, a fairly decent card. Nothing to scream about this one. If you look, through the whole of the card, the early prelims, nothing really much there. On the prelim, again, nothing too much to really scream about. I think the main card, to be fair, you got Andre Fialho, I don't know how to say his name. I know I butchered that. Against Jake Matthews, which is a decent welterweight scrap. And other than that, there's nothing much. I think the Whittaker Victoria fight was supposed to be on here, but it got cancelled. So, there's some, again, the 3 fights on the main card, the 3 are the ones, as usual, which I'm going to focus on. They always are the main attraction of these cards. So, yeah, so starting off, though, with the women's strawweight bout between Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Weili Zhang. Probably the fight I'm looking forward to most on this card, if I'm being honest with you. The first fight, I don't need to talk about it, was amazing. I think maybe it almost got better. I think the fact that it was on the Adesanya Romero card, which was it was the co-main event, obviously, for the Adesanya Romero fight, which was horrendous. So I think maybe that's what helped it. But it was an unbelievable fight. I think, me personally, initially I had Joanna winning, and then I watched it back again and I had Weili taking it. I do really wish that this one was a 5-rounder. I think, what was it? It was the Nate Diaz Leon Edwards fight, which they made it a 5-rounder, which I felt was it didn't really make much sense, to be honest. I know Nate Diaz is a star, but I still don't really see the sense in that and not making this one a 5-rounder. But overall, I think it's still an interesting fight, an amazing fight actually. In this division, obviously, for Weili, her last fight was the loss to Rose Namajunas, and a fight which some people thought she actually won, but overall, and for Joanna Jędrzejczyk, her last fight in which that she won was against Michelle Watson. So again, some pretty I don't know how to say. No, nobody really has the momentum, I feel, coming into this. I know, again, Weili won the last fight, but it wasn't exactly a complete shutout, and I think it was a war. And I think for Joanna, I think she kind of underestimated Weili a little bit. I think she kind of felt that she wouldn't be as, the experience wouldn't be there. Obviously, she just won the bout, Weili, and I don't know. I feel like with Joanna, I don't know. I thought she'd be declining, but she seems to be maintaining a level. She hasn't really dropped off, I don't think. All I think that you've seen happen is that the competition around her has got better, and it happens a lot. Divisions evolve, Happened to Ronda Rousey not so long ago. People like to rewrite history with Ronda, but she was the one who, revolutionised women's MMA and will be on the Mount Rushmore of women's MMA, but the sport passed her by, and I don't think the sport's passed her by, but I just think that it's people around her who just got better, and that's all it is. And with Weili, I feel it's going to sound weird, I feel like that loss to Rose was a bit of a, not a fake result, but a bit of a annoying thing because she just got caught with a fantastic kick by Rose. But other than that, it wasn't anything too amazing. But yeah, I just I don't know. And I think in the second fight she fought well. It was unlucky. I think Rose just edged it, but either way, I do with Carla Esparza being the champion in quotation marks. I would like to see the winner of this fight, Carla. I think both of them would beat Carla Esparza, to be honest. I think I'd have more confidence in Weili beating her than Joanna doing it. But yeah, coming into this rematch, and yeah, I am looking forward to. Like I said, it is my most anticipated fight on the card. I think it may be the most even as well, to be honest with you. So yeah, for my prediction, I feel like with Weili, she's in the first fight, she had a lot of success when she rushed Joanna, and I think she's learned to fight with a bit more patience. And I think for Joanna, very kick heavy, her kicks are almost like punches at times in how frequent they are. And like I said, I think age wise, Joanna's 34, Weili's 32. Weili, I mean, Joanna does have a 2-inch reach advantage over her, and is slightly taller, so there is that. But I think with Weili's a cautious approach, I think it's smart because I think she'll be able to pick her off, and she's more powerful than Joanna as well. So yeah, I don't know. I think Weili edges this. To be honest, I do think she takes it. I think it's close. I think Joanna's obviously we know fantastic Muay Thai, but I just think that Weili's quicker and just be too much on the feet this time around. I think she won't make the same mistake she did last time. She went to war last time. I think this time she'll be relaxed, she'll be calm. I'll have to check. I don't know if Cejudo's still in the corner. I think he might be, but I think he's been good for her, helped her with the wrestling. And I could definitely see her mixing in the takedowns, but she didn't really do much in the first fight at all. So, yeah, I think I do think that Weili takes this one, and I think she wins. She should get the title shot. I don't really see who else they could give it to. To be honest, in that division, there aren't many. In the strawweight division, there aren't many fighters who really stand out to me that much who should get the opportunity. I don't think they should definitely not do a rematch between Rose and Carla. I don't think anybody wants that. And if you go through the picture at Stroy, obviously with Carla being the champ, I think Rose is number 1. And I actually think that these two are the next ones up, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no. So Rose is obviously there, and then obviously you got Weili, you got Marina Rodriguez, Jessica Andrade, Mackenzie Dern's in the picture. You got Tisha Torres, who she could have a shout. Amanda Hebas in there, and Angela Hill. There's a few there, but nothing too much. I thought Tatiana Suarez would be a problem for that division, but obviously she's gone up and she's always injured over time anyway. So unfortunately don't get to see enough of her. But yeah, I think they should be in the picture at least. I think for the title shot, whoever wins this, and I'm interested to see how this one goes. To be honest, I think Joanna. I don't think it'll be a shot. I think it will be a close fight. To be fair, I don't think the only time Joanna I think's ever really been shut out completely in when she's lost was against Valentina, and I think she takes these. I think she's a fantastic fighter in her day, fantastic champion, but I just think that, like I said, Weili is just too fast and too strong. So yeah, I'm going to say Weili Zhang takes this in a unanimous decision. Then we move up the card, and then we have what I would consider to be the best pound-for-pound female fighter in the world. I think possibly the greatest female fighter of all time, to be honest, in Valentina Shevchenko, defending her flyweight belt against Talia Santos. When it comes to Valentina Shevchenko, I'm a huge fan of hers. I think she is possibly the most complete fighter in the whole of martial arts. I really do think that. Don't get me wrong, I can understand if you're maybe a bit, not casual, but if you want the entertainment, she sometimes can be a bit too technical and almost be too much for her opponent. But everything is just so clean. she really doesn't have that much weaknesses. Her wrestling is very solid. Her jiu-jitsu is very good. Fantastic kickboxing, good Muay Thai, boxing is solid. There's enough. She has like an amazing thing that she does where she kind of leans on that lead leg, and if you start to kick the leg, she'll kind of pick up your timing and then hit you over the top with a spinning heel kick. She does it so well and so quick as well, and everything about her is just technique, and that's why I know she lost twice to Nunes, even though I think she won the second one, and I think she was close to finishing her in the third, but I still think she's the better fighter out of the two, and the only reason Nunes beat her was literally just because of size, to be honest. I don't really think there's more. I don't think Nunes really has anything over. Even boxing, I don't think that Nunes really is a better boxer than Valentina. So yeah, I think Valentina is elite. I think she's a standard, in my opinion, of what all female fighters should be. I think there isn't many better when it comes to an all-round game than Valentina Shevchenko. So yeah, I'm always excited in watching her fight, and yeah, she's up against a hard fighter though in Talia Santos. Obviously, Talia Santos, I think, has only lost one fight in her career, and that was to Mara Romero Barella, who's 36. So credit to her, but yeah, she's dangerous to Santos. I do think that with these type of fighters, there's always something there. There's always a threat with them that you feel like they are going to almost be that kind of wild card. If you look at Talia Santos, she's actually quite, like, physically, she's very, very big and muscular. She has really good wrestling as well, so I don't think taking her down and dominating will be as easy for Valentina. I think her defensive wrestling is very, very good. And I do think that maybe after what Juliana Pena did to Nunes, people are a bit more cautious to completely go with one side on this. But yeah, I tell you what, she's very good, Santos, though, and I do think that she will give her a much better showing than I think others have done against Valentina. For Valentina, I think if it was her last fight was against who was her last fight against, actually? See, I feel like it's been ages since I've seen her compete. Her last fight was against that was it. Yeah, it was against Lauren Murphy. Now it comes back to me on the UFC, was it Volkanovski Ortega card, I think it was. So, and then obviously she fought Jessica Andrade before that. So she's and both finishes, one in the second round against Andrade, and the stoppage again in the fourth round against Lauren Murphy. So nobody's really had much success against Valentina, but yeah, I'd love to see Santos give a real fight. But I just think Valentina's so... Same with the Whaley and Joanna fight. I think it's just too quick. Joanna on the feet. She's too technical. She doesn't do anything sloppy. Everything she does is very clean and very crisp. Her technique is fantastic. And her fight IQ as well is unbelievable. So nothing which I think puts her ahead of Nunes. I think she's more intelligent just in general. But yeah, Talia Santos will be dangerous for her, I don't doubt. But I think, again, she's a good wrestler. Maybe she can get Valentina down and maybe keep her there. Do a little bit of what Aljamain Sterling did Piotr Jan, where he kept him down for certain rounds and that kind of banked him the fight. And if he can do that to Valentina gets desperate, it could be something there. But yeah, I don't know. Valentina's just too quick, I think, and she's too I don't know, she's just too much. I think she's just too good for a lot of these women, and nothing against any of these fighters, they're all very good, but Valentina's just a different level. And I just think whilst it's on the feet, and whilst if Talia Santos shoots takedowns, I feel like Valentina will be able to stuff, or maybe even reverse and get her on bottom. And she's very good in the bottom, Talia Santos, but yeah, I feel like Valentina will get this done via third round stoppage, personally. I think she's too good. I think she's, like I said, the best female fighter in the world. I don't think anybody comes close to her. And, you know, how old is she? She's, I want to say she's 34. So she's not getting on, but she's kind of getting now towards that period. I always feel like 35, 36 is when you see fights kind of fizzle out a little bit, whether it is in MMA or in boxing. But yeah, for now, I think she's good though. I think there isn't many people. She could actually, with how weak the flyweight division is, she could probably go until she's like 40, to be fair, and do what Glover did, because I just don't see anybody beating her. So yeah, amazing though. I think we're lucky to see a fight as good as Valentina, because in women's MMA, there's some great fighters, but sometimes you can have a lot of sloppy fighters as well, and I think she's not one of them. If you put her skill set into a male fighter, I think that male fighter would beat everybody. He'd be the best in the world. So credit to Valentina. I think she's amazing, and I think, again, Talia Santos, she's a good fighter, but I just think Valentina would be too much. So yeah, Shevchenko, stoppage in the third round. I think, I'm going to say she gets her down and just ground and pounds her and just gets it done that way, and the referee jumps in and stops the fight. So yeah, that is that. And then heading to our main event in the light heavyweight division. For the light heavyweight title, we have Glover Teixeira versus Jiří Procházka. Glover, obviously, in his last fight, pulled off the upset by beating Jan Blachowicz. Glover now at 42 and still going on strong. An absolute legend. And Jiří Procházka, 29, on the rise. He's a bit of a lunatic, Procházka, but it's one thing that makes him exciting to watch. He obviously pulled out his last fight, the KO of the year, I would say, against Dominic Reyes with a spinning elbow in a brutal fight. And I don't know, it's just something. I said this in Blachowicz. I think Blachowicz should have blown Glover out, but he just wasn't able to do it for whatever reason. I don't know why. I think maybe the belt messed with his head or whatever, but yeah. And he got a sports psychologist now, Blachowicz, so maybe that will help him. But yeah, to me, that just did not help. So I will say, I think any other day, I think he beats Glover, but he just couldn't do it. And Glover, to his credit, stuck in there, showed that he's a warrior, he's a legend, and got the belt of that. And now against Jiří Procházka, it's a dangerous fight for Glover. He doesn't have to take this, but he could have retired actually against Blachowicz and just sailed off, but showed that he's about the life. He wants to be in there. I think this will be his last fight. I can't see him fighting on after this, and I don't think anybody can go against him. He has been unbelievable, but man, this fight scares me. Procházka is dangerous, man. This guy he's a little bit like Johnny Walker, but if Johnny Walker was a bit more of a, not a lunatic, or maybe not a lunatic's the wrong word. If Johnny Walker wasn't as sloppy as he is, I think Procházka would seriously. I think Procházka's just gonna really do something impressive here. I just feel with him, he does make mistakes. Don't get it twisted, but there's just something about the way he fights. He's like savage but calculated with it at the same time, and I think that is something that it's just something dangerous in the light heavyweight division for that. And it's gonna sound bad because he won the fight. I just don't see Glover winning this one. I think Jiří Procházka will get it done. I think he'll stop him in like the first or second round. I feel Glover is a legend and he's done great. I feel like it will be one of those where he catches him with the knee when he's going for a takedown and he'll just stay on him. And I think the knees might do it. I feel like he'll tie in the clinch and throw those knees up the middle, and I think he'll go down Glover, and I think Jiří knocks him out. And I think Jiří will get the belt and be the new light heavyweight champion. The light heavyweight division is an interesting one. I think it's probably the weakest in MMA, to be honest with you, today. If you go through all the divisions, really, you look at heavyweight. Heavyweight was very bad for a long time, and now you got Francis Ngannou, who's a champ, who I don't know if he's gonna stick around, but thus far he's a champ, and we're gonna assume that he is still gonna fight in the UFC. You got Cyril Gane, who's brilliant to watch. Tom Aspinall, who's making noise. Tai Tuivasa, who's doing his thing. You got John Jones, who is the potential of him coming up into the division. You still got Stipe there. It's so much talent in that division. I think it's a lot more coming. And yeah, so I think the heavyweight division is exciting. You look at, obviously, like heavyweight isn't great, and then middleweight. All right, to be fair, middleweight is probably on par with being a very poor division, but that's mainly because Adesanya is beating everybody. But You still got some guys like Jerry Cannonier against Adesanya coming up, which is an interesting fight. You got Robert Whittaker still in there, who's an elite fight. You got possibility of Kamzat coming in there. So there's so many different possibilities there still. And then welterweight, you got Usman, who's the champ. So you got Chimaev in there. You still got Burns. You got Colby, Leon Edwards in there. So many, and this is just a few. So many great fights, and then lightweight you got Makachev, Oliveira possibly fighting for the belt. You still got Gaethje, Poirier. Got Chandler. There's so many Ferguson there. Featherweight the same with Volkanovski as the champ, with Holloway fighting there. Then you got Yair Rodriguez. You got Ortega. You've got Rodriguez, Ortega. I feel like I missed it. Calvin Kattar in there. Got Arnold Allen. You got Sadiq Youssef. There's so many great fights in that division, and then my favourite at one below in bantamweight with Alan Joe, Piotr Jan, TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen. So many good ones there. And then going on to flyweight, you still got Brandon Moreno in there. I know Davis Figueiredo is the champion. Then you've got Pantoja in there. You've got somebody who I think will be the champion in coming up in Mohamed Mokaev. And then you've also got who else am I thinking? Askarov. So there's still so much in the division, but light heavyweight is so weak. I don't think there's really many there because Jones ain't coming back into that division. So maybe your hope is you got Paulo Costa coming up there, and I think he's supposed to be fighting Luke Rocco, but I think that he's at middleweight, so I don't think that'll be there. But or maybe it won't be. I'm not sure yet. But there's somebody there. Got Anthony Smith still there. Thiago Santos. There's nothing much in it. So yeah, I think Yuri Prohaska, the good thing about him is exciting to watch. So that will give the division some life. But yeah, like I said, I think Yuri Prohaska does get this one done. I think Glover can get him down, and maybe he can do what he did to Blachowicz. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it'll be too quick, too brutal, and it'll be too much on the feet. I think Prohaska for Texera. But Glover's a legend. Let's not get twisted. This man deserves all respect. At 42 winning the bout, he deserves everything. He's unbelievable, and he's definitely will be Hall of Fame. And I think he'll be maybe not the Mount Rushmore of MMA, but he definitely should be in the conversation as being regarded as an absolute legend and one of the best, because to do that at the age that he is unbelievable, and especially against the guy like Blachowicz who he beat was amazing. But yeah, I'd like to see the winner of this, which I think, well, I say winner, I'd like to see Prohaska win, because if we're being real, it's better the division doesn't get held up. Glover's 42, he can't be fighting anymore, and I think he'll retire regardless if he wins or loses anyway, to be fair. But yeah, winner of this versus Blachowicz I think would be a great fight. Blachowicz is still obviously in the picture, and so is Rakic, but they're doing Prohaska, Rakic, and Blachowicz are the only ones who are really exciting me, to be honest. So maybe Paulo Costa if he can do something there, but yeah, they're the only ones who really get me interested, to be honest. The others don't really, I don't think have that excitement as much. But anyway, an interesting card though. Like I said, I think Prohaska gets it done in the main event. I think Valentina retains her belt, and I think Weili does get it done against Joanna. Some decent card, decent fights coming up. Again, with the UFC, has been slacking recently. There's not really been much to talk about, but I do think we will have. You've got Calvin Kattar, Josh Emmett as the next fight night, with Cowboy and Kevin Honda also fighting on that card, and Joaquin Buckley. So some good ones coming up. Hopefully, like I said, the main one I'm looking forward to. UFC 276 with Adesanya and Kanye. I think that would be the fight to watch out for, and amongst the others with Holloway and Volkanovski. But yeah, just my thoughts. Like I said, UFC 275, Prohaska, Shevchenko, and Weili Zhang get it done, in my opinion. So yeah, just my quick thoughts, and yeah, I will do a review on it. Until next time.